Hi, Jeff Voigt here. I'm an adjunct professor at Carroll Community College. I teach drone flight to aspiring students that want to become commercial drone operators. I wanted to relay an interesting incident that occurred to me yesterday here in Annapolis. Yesterday was September 11th, and I was outside flying my Inspire 2, that big drone right there. Not a small aircraft. It attracts a lot of attention no matter where you are, where you seem to be flying. But anyway, I'm a Part 107 commercial operator. I have a license from the FAA to operate the aircraft. Before I put the drone up in the air, I checked for any temporary flight restrictions that may have said, hey, you can't fly in this airspace right now. I checked a number of other applications, and the airspace, in fact, was safe and approved to fly in. So I got the drone up in the air, and about 10 minutes later, this young Navy jock comes running by. You know, he's got his khaki shorts on, a blue polo top, and a big old walkie-talkie. And he's talking to a police officer, and he said, "Sir, I see the aircraft." And right about then, I said, it's time to land this thing and call this young gentleman over and ask him to bring the police officer over here, too, so we could have a discussion. So I landed. I invited the young gentleman over, and the police officer drove up in his car. And as the police officer drove up and walked up to me, actually, I said, "Sir, before you say anything, whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do." And that just completely diffused the situation. And I said, "Sir, for my own professional development, if I've broken any laws, please tell me what laws I'm in violation of so that I don't do that in the future." He said, "Well, sure, you're in violation of federal law." I said, "Good heavens, which federal law?" He said, "You're not allowed to fly a drone near a football stadium." And this is where you have to be really sensitive and maybe a little tactful. And this is where the young Navy jock jumped in. He said, "Mr. Officer, I just pulled up the temporary flight restrictions. There are none in the area until 1 hour before that football game. And sir, as I read the law, if he's a commercial operator and he's shown you his credentials, he's allowed to fly up to 1 hour before and 1 hour after that football game by FAA regs." And the officer took it well. He said, "Gentlemen, I stand corrected. Jeff, go ahead and get that pretty airplane back in the air if you'd like." I said, "Officer, I appreciate it, but you know what? I've learned a lesson today. I didn't know there was this extreme sensitivity to drone aircraft flight, but I guess I should have been aware that, it's 9/11. Two major service academies are playing a nationally televised football game here in just a few hours. I probably should have used better judgment and not flown today. So I'm going to ground myself. And 2 years from now, when the Air Force team comes back here, and hopefully we beat them that year, I'm not going to fly then either." So we all laughed. I packed up the drone, and we all left and went home. So the takeaway is, I think if you give the officer a gentle way to back out of the situation, and that's where that young Navy fella came in. He politely showed him what the law said. The second thing is, I think if you're ever approached by authorities, a law enforcement official, for example, like this, before you say anything, say this: "Sir, whatever," or "Ma'am, whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do." And they immediately know that, of course, they're in charge, but they know that they've got a compliant citizen, and I think that gives them an easier road ahead. And certainly it made it easy on our conversation. So anyway, I thought I'd relay that to you. It all ended well, and I think the police officer learned some good things, and Jeff Voigt learned some good things, and we'll move on from there. Take care. If you have any comments, shoot them to me in the feed below. Bye-bye.